You're listening to the Slavic Literature Pod, your shelf help guide to all things Slavic. I'm Cameron Lalana.
And I'm Matt Gerasimovich.
And today we're covering Part 1, Chapter 30 of Vasily Grossman's Life and Fate. Last time we were talking about the death of Tolya. Now we're going back to our original timeline with Ludmila finding out about Tolya's fate and a rather impersonal explanation of it by Battalion Commissar Szymanski. I mean, what parent wouldn't want to hear that spiel, the rote spiel that he gives her about their dead child? Is there anywhere in particular that you would like to start with this?
Yes, there was. There was something in this chapter that I thought was very interesting. And it was kind of the thing that I think Grossman does really well when he's writing, and not just about death, but about everything. And that is, he really shows these moments of disruption in people's thoughts and disruption of routines. And that makes sense because a lot of fiction is about something that changes just very broadly. We don't tend to write about just to kind of say minutia of routine or habit. Tends to not make a super interesting story. But I digress. So there's this line here where Szymanski is saying that he felt sad about the dead lieutenant and sorry for his mother. For that very reason, he felt angry with both of them. What would happen to his nerves if he had to give interviews to every dead lieutenant's mama? And I thought that was just such a wonderful encapsulation of the situation for him. And just this sort of breaking him out of this routine of the fact that he's burying these young men every single day after either failed operations or they just there's no chance for them to make it through any operation. And I feel like the narrator, well, I mean, it's his thoughts, but there's some irony, of course, on this. Yeah, what would happen if he had to give a report? I mean, why shouldn't he have to give a report? And the fact that he feels angry because he actually feels sad about what it is he's doing in his job. And so that was just I don't know, it's like one of those instances where you have two quick lines just inserted into well, I guess it's kind of towards the beginning of the chapter, but just how kind of quick Grossman can jab you with something like that. A lot of characterization and a lot of kind of, quite frankly, psychological insight all at once into us. Because I feel like we've all probably felt that way about maybe something, maybe probably not of this magnitude, but not for me. I don't do anything important.
No, it did. It reminds me, yeah, of like working in healthcare at one point in time, experiencing, this like
Have I ever told you that you're a hero? I think so, anyways.
No, not the good kind of healthcare. The kind where you're just checking people in. But like, I work with people. Most of them not, thankfully, but you'd meet some people who are like, why are you bothering me? What are you just checking in for an appointment? You want your documents? Are you serious? You're interrupting my day for this? Yeah, but right. I mean, to this very point, the routines that people get into, especially, which is contrasted against the wartime, right? And I think it's great to have this chapter positioned against the last chapter where you have this kind of this overwhelming emotion of the people who want Tolya to be alive, and now you're getting into the bureaucracy of it. And of course, if he felt sad for every single soldier who died, he'd be overwhelmed all the time. So he pushes it all down. And like you say, Grossman gives us those quick little jabs between most of the chapter, which is, I think, intentionally more or less devoid of emotion. It's just a quick, here's what happened. It's almost like a military report. And then I think it comes to this sort of, maybe I don't know if I would call this the climax of the chapter, but the moment when he finally looks her in the eyes and, it's like the brilliance almost shocks him and he like blinks and looks away. There's one moment of connecting humanity here, right? Where it's not just, there's the initial, oh gosh, what if I had to do this every time? And then I think there's a moment of maybe connecting humanity there, which is, not fully realized, but it's like we're on the cusp there. That again, that kind of quick punch, that quick jab that Grossman is so good at.
Yeah, and as I'm kind of thinking about it, I do think that this sort of same logic will apply probably to some of the Nazis as well. Just I mean, habit can be good and it can also be very bad and dangerous. We tend to think of habit as something boring, but when we're doing something that is bad and it becomes ritualized or part of our habits, it's sort of, and it's sort of combining that with treating something like work and kind of separating it as something that is different from you. This is not me. This is something I do for work. And I do it every day so much that I don't even think about it. And in this case, we'll see with some of the characters later, this is not good with some of the things that are being done, to put it lightly. In this case, it's not necessarily that he's doing anything bad. He's just very matter of fact, not super personable. Probably wouldn't really want to interact with him. And the sort of way that these state structures kind of use us to kind of ritualize or habitualize certain actions can be really dehumanizing and really I don't know, give us personally the distance that we need to say, I don't do something bad. This is just, well, a job, or it's just something over there. It's not part of me. But I think that Grossman doesn't buy that. I know we can't extract from just this one chapter, but all things being equal.
I think we probably can't extract that from tomorrow's chapter. Maybe
Yeah.
a little more, but
Well, there are some scenes coming up that I would say not everything is like a habitual sort of thing. There are some really jarring, violent scenes that are depicted later, and
Yeah.
there's no habit to that. Um, in some cases, yes, but here
Right.
I think there is, and I just think it's something kind of interesting.
Absolutely, I agree.
Hmm.
I think that's probably the main takeaway from this chapter. It's a pretty impressive amount of things to take away from like a page and a half of content, anyway. So
Yeah, I really like the short chapters. I mean, they're fun. I mean, fun to analyze. That's it.
right. I think unless there's anything else you wanted to cover, that's a good place to leave it for today. And you will all hear from us again soon.
Hey, 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 hey.